Welcome, everybody, to the very first episode of the OzzCast. Obviously, this is going live on the Oz and Glorious One show. And I thought, what better first guest to have than the Glorious One himself? And he's here. Give him a round. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on?
What's up with you?
Nothing much, man. I just got home right now from a soccer tournament that I'm coaching with AYSO here in East LA.
Right.
We're doing pretty good. We won both our games. It's the All-Star tournament this weekend. We played the regular core season last week, and we won that. So we're on our way for state in Arizona next month. I think it's the 15th, 16th. It's that weekend. But other than that, just that's what's been going on with me today.
What else have you been up to?
Just working.
Because I obviously don't see you.
Yeah.
I don't see you. You and I work a lot. I have
Yeah.
my full-time. You got your full-time. Our schedules do not meet. This is actually the first time I've seen you, in about a week and a half? It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, we were originally going to do this last week, but I had to referee last week, and, man, I was exhausted, so I just got here, and, my apologies for that, man. I mean, it was...
I'm not going to lie. I was a little mad. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, my God, let's take this seriously.
Yeah. And I thought about it, too, when I got home, and the thing is, when I got out of the car, I could barely walk.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, dude, it felt like everything was stiff.
Right.
And for me to get home, and then I was feeling sick because it was raining, and I was reffing, and it was cold as hell. So.
Was it raining? People told me it was raining.
It was raining. Well, in La Habra, where the tournament was at, it was raining.
Okay. Well, yeah, because when I called you, it was Saturday, I was in Cabazon. I was with my cousins. We went to the outlets out there.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ, that was an hour and a half that was a long drive.
Damn.
That was a long drive. Didn't buy anything. Didn't buy a damn thing.
You were just window shopping?
I was window shopping. No, I'm not going to lie. We went into the Michael Kors store. Oh. Shout out to Michael Kors. Plug me. Sponsor me.
Yeah.
And I found a beautiful wallet. I was not going to pay $68 for a wallet.
No. And I bet it was a small wallet, too.
It was a nice red and black one. I was not going to lie. It said Michael Kors all over it. $68, not paying for it.
No.
But, but tell the listeners how we met.
All right. So first off, we did not like each other. Mm-hmm. Okay. There was one time way back in the day. Oz worked at a retail
establishment.
Yeah. We're not gonna plug it.
Not
worth it.
Not worth it.
Anyway, and he had come home, and there was something going on in our back parking spaces that we have.
Right.
Yeah. And we got our drink on. He was doing his own thing with his people, and I was doing my own thing with my people. At that time we didn't speak. And I
think we didn't go beyond the occasional hi, how are you?
Yeah, we were cordial to each other, but
right.
It wasn't like, hey dude, what's up, how you been, blah blah blah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point he was my sister's neighbor.
Okay.
So don't get us wrong, we like to party, every now and then when we can.
Right.
And we partied that day. Again, him on his end and me on my end. And he was walking towards his house, and he yelling Viva where he worked at. And I went along with it. So I'm like, hey. And then, I probably annoyed the hell out of him, because every time I saw him, it was, hey, Viva la,
Whatever, yeah.
Wherever he was working. And knowing Oz now, I figured now it's like, dude, he probably is like, this mofo over here, does he ever say anything else besides that?
Yeah.
So, fast forward.
You can swear too if you want.
Oh, I can? All right, cool. Well, I'm about to fucking cuss, so yeah. Anyway, fast forward a couple years later, I end up moving across the way from him. Mm. And at that time, we had some neighbors that weren't very pleasant.
Right.
They were trying to be gang affiliated where they weren't really gang affiliated.
Right.
They claimed, but,
right.
Anyway, they were youngsters. And then they would gather right in front of this tree that I have right in front of my apartment. And at one time I got home, and they were right there, and, they were doing their stuff. And I asked them nicely, and I go, hey, can you guys please get out of here, because, it bothers my mom. And they're like, no, we're going to do what we want, blah, blah, blah. So I guess during this whole commotion, I started getting upset, and I started, telling them, hey, if you don't move, I was trying to get them out of there. And, they try to get brave. At the end of the day, they didn't do anything. They walked away. But I'm not going to lie, I was like, damn, I was outnumbered.
It was, I think it was like, what, 6-7?
Yeah, against myself.
To 1, yeah. 6-7-1.
So they walked away, whatever. And then when I look over to Oz's apartment door, I noticed him just waiting right in front of his door.
Right.
Like, he was right there.
Right.
And then I was just like, wow, this guy was about to get my back if anything was going to crack.
Right.
And from there, it was just, the rest was history. Like, we approached each other. Well, I think I approached you, or I don't know how it happened, but...
I think it was one of those, just like, those nods, like, hey, well, thanks. That was it. Just nod. I don't think no words were spoken. I think it was just like one of those nods that's like, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
And then we found our passion, not only for soccer.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had opposing clubs. You are a long-time Chivas fan.
Yeah.
And I was then a big old America fan. Not so much now. I haven't seen that league in a while.
Yeah, same here.
I started watching the English league, the Premier League, and I really got into that one more. You know?
Yeah.
Been a big Liverpool fan since, 5 years now.
So you must be hell of excited right now.
They have 12 games left, and they got 15 points that they have to make in order to win the championship. 12 games, 15 points.
Okay.
So they can do it in 5 games if they keep winning.
Okay.
But after that, we found our passion for wrestling together.
Yes.
And our knowledge of wrestling.
Well, I mean, I think as far as knowledge of wrestling, I think you just beat me, bro. Because, I mean, I know I've, here and there, but if I were to mention a match to you, I'd be like, hey, you remember when... The Undertaker versus The Undertaker fought.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I think, what was it, SummerSlam?
SummerSlam 1994.
You see? You see what I'm talking about? Like, I said, I think it was SummerSlam, and he right, oh, yeah, no, SummerSlam.
I mean, it does help that we have the WWE Network now.
Well,
it does help, so it refreshes
Sponsor
the memory.
WWE.
Sponsor, WWE. Speaking of wrestling, what's your first memory when it comes to wrestling? Your first time you found out, okay, I like this.
Believe it or not, it's the mentioned match. It was The Undertaker versus The Undertaker.
Okay.
I've always been fascinated with The Undertaker as far as his character, and how he was able to progress his character throughout the years and change it up.
And make it relevant.
Yes.
Okay.
It was that match because I was at a friend's house that, he actually was the one that introduced me. Shout out to you, Paul, if you ever see this. He introduced me to wrestling, and that was the first match that I saw. And... after that, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So back then, I would go every weekend and rent a VHS.
Oh, gosh.
A VHS.
Shout out to VHS,
yeah,
man.
Shout out to VHS.
They kept us relevant. They allowed us to record things on the TV.
For real.
All you have to do is block out the little square in the back of the tape. You're able to record whatever you wanted.
Oh, dude, I remember that.
I had so many old wrestling VHS tapes, dude, that we would order the pay-per-view and record it. Because if we're paying $59.99 or whatever, I think it was like $54.99 back then, you want to watch it all over again.
Yep.
So I used to have all those tapes, but go on with The Undertaker.
Yeah, and I would rent VHSs, and it was like back like when it was like Coliseum Presents. Or, like, it was back then, I mean, I saw...
Coliseum Home Video.
Yeah, there we go, that's what it was. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I would rent old ones, too, like, back when, like, Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan fought.
Okay.
I saw that, and then I would go every month. And even back, it was not only WWE or F at that time.
WWF.
It was WCW.
Don't sue us, pandas, for the F, sorry.
Yes, please, sorry. I would watch WCW too, and I became a wrestling fan after that. I got hooked. There was let me put it this way: nobody tends to go to live events,
right?
But I went to live events back in the day.
I went to one. It was the first wrestling show I've ever went to. Was a WCW live event show when it was the Great Western Forum in England. This is years ago, yes. This is when the NWO was the thing. It was the highlight. It was the main event.
I love that.
I don't remember. I don't remember what the main event was, but I believe it had to do something with Hulk Hogan. Because he was the shit.
He was. Yeah, he was.
Still is.
Yeah.
In some ways, a lot of people see Hulk Hogan as the best.
Yeah.
But who do you... At that time, who was your favorite wrestler on both WWF and WCW?
Ooh. WWF before the Ruthless Aggression, I would have to say it was Stone Cold. I mean, it's pretty basic answer. Everybody likes that. And for WCW, believe it or not, it was Diamond Dallas Page.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, and that's like a wild horse. Everybody would think like, oh, Hulk Hogan or, Bret Hart was over there, like the main eventers.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, he was a main eventer in his own right.
Oh,
and he held the championship too, you know what I mean? But not a lot of people would be like, oh, Diamond Dallas Page.
Right.
But there was just something about Diamond Dallas Page that I was just like, this guy's legit. Like, I was like, fuck, this guy's cool.
Did you know that Diamond Dallas Page got into the wrestling business at age 35?
Yeah, I knew that actually. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then maybe Kurt Hennig when he was over there.
When he was in WCW.
Yeah, because I didn't get to see him in WWEF.
Right.
Just that he had such swagger when walking into the ring with this whole tossing the towel over his back, over his head.
Over his head.
Yeah. Or
he's chewing his gum, he
and
pops it out and smacks it.
You know what? I actually do that sometimes.
Okay.
Well, not anymore because I haven't chewed gum in a bit.
Right.
I gave it up. But when I would like chew gum and I would get out of the car and I'm walking to my house, I would spit it out and try and slap it, and it's harder than it looks.
It is.
It is.
I've tried it, and I think I swallowed a couple of pieces of gum. Just try to spit it out. I'm not a spitter.
Oh, so, are you? Nah.
That's a whole different podcast.
Yes, it is.
We don't want to give any visuals out.
Yes.
But
visuals coming soon.
Visuals coming soon. What is your favorite wrestling match? Ooh. You can only be one.
One?
Yeah, I know. I have a list. Trust me, and there's plenty of matches that.
I think the match that was very defining to me as far as a wrestling fan, would have to be The Undertaker versus Mankind. Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. King of the Ring, 1998.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
What he said. That match, I mean, not only with The Undertaker, but just like Mankind, just Jesus.
Are you like me and you remember that match from beginning to end without even watching it? Like right now in your head, is it playing?
It is.
Isn't it playing in your head?
It's playing right now. It's at the part where he tosses them over over the cage to the. Oh my god! And just the fact that he just got up and went back in, and then he went through the Hell in a Cell, dude, with his tooth coming out of his nose, bro. Like, damn, dude. Like, you don't. That's a visual you never forget.
I remember I was almost 11 years old watching that match, and my brother and I, we literally thought he was dead. After he fell through the cage and he is not moving. And you see Terry Funk go up to him and grab him and move him. He's not moving. Yeah. We thought he was dead.
The Undertaker thought as well, too, that he was severely injured because he wasn't supposed to go through it. It just gave out. I mean, it was the first one, right? No, it was the second one because the first one was with Shawn Michaels. Right? Undertaker and Shawn Michaels?
Yes.
And Kane came out?
Kane came out.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Kane. Yeah. Didn't he have a cape?
In live events, he had a cape.
Oh, okay.
In the actual show, in live events. I remember.
Now,
as a kid, I'm not going to lie to you, when I was, when Kane came out, he scared the shit out of me. I was afraid of Kane.
Well, I mean, dude.
At that time.
Yeah.
I was afraid of Kane because he wouldn't talk. He'd just stand there.
Yeah, and then they gave him that little voice box. Oh, man.
Awesome.
And then when he was with DX, suck it. You know what? I like that tag team with X-Pac and Kane.
Yeah, they didn't think they broke him up.
Yeah, they did.
To take Tori away from Kane, and she became a heel.
Yep, I remember that.
This is when DX was trying to get hot again.
Yeah.
And it became more X-rated then. Well, I mean, it tamed down after Stephanie McMahon got in.
Yeah.
If you noticed, because I noticed a lot of those.
Yeah.
Who now is your favorite wrestler? Now?
Oh, dude, that's a toughie.
But before you answer that, what is, and we just passed 10 years. In the last 10 years, what was your favorite wrestling match?
In the last 10 years, including NXT.
Right.
Oh man. I mean, the first match that comes to mind, I want to say, right now, because I got hooked on it, was the Women's War Games match. Right now, as of right now.
It does hit currently. The 10-year match, 10-year mark, because that was last year, 2019.
Yeah. Aside from that, damn. Dude, I don't even know. I would have to think about that and get back to you. But I think as of right now, I think it would be that one.
Okay.
I mean, there's a bunch of them that I'll probably think about after this is over.
What about your favorite wrestler? Now,
I
mean, you have a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. I think when we used to do the Federity Club, you would change your character every 3 months.
I would.
2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
And then you try to merge them together too.
Hey, but I kept the current one though. That one I've been. Yeah. R.I.P. to my robe.
To your.
The fire.
I told you it was too hot.
It was. I'm gonna have to say Randy Orton.
Okay.
I mean, that's my boy.
Did you recently see the attack he made on Edge?
No, you know what? And it sucks because, of the wrestling fan that I am. I actually haven't watched any of the main shows in, I want to say maybe like a few weeks.
Okay.
But I have them saved on my DVR.
No, we're just too busy.
Yeah, and not only that, it's just there was a spot on SmackDown Live where I was just like, okay, I think this is time for me to take a break from it, which was the whole Roman Reigns and the dog.
The dog food thing.
Okay. It's just
it wasn't necessary.
It's corny,
I did
it's
see
cheesy,
that, yeah.
and it's just like, okay, really.
But I think now as we get older, because you're 33, I'm 32, I think we just start to nitpick the things we want to watch on wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't like certain wrestlers, but we like certain storylines. And
Yeah.
that's what I find myself doing is I will watch what this storyline is talking about.
Yeah.
One of them is the Edge Randy Orton story. Another one is the Liv Morgan Ruby Riott story, which is really interesting.
Oh yeah, I actually saw how that transpired with the whole she came back and then all of a sudden like bam, Yeah. I did see that. That was, I mean, but just those are two underrated wrestlers. Wrestlers,
not superstars.
No,
not
they're
wrestlers.
No, they're wrestlers.
They're not sports entertainers.
Yeah, they're wrestlers, and for a future podcast, we do have. Well, I mean,
we're gonna go along.
We're gonna do. I mean, hopefully,
we haven't even scratched the surface.
No, this is nothing.
Podcast.
This is nothing. This is what we call in the business a pilot.
This is the introduction.
Correct.
To the Oz and Glorious One show.
Yes. Correct.
Because the channel's been there, we just haven't posted. Well, again, we don't have time.
Yeah.
So I thought a podcast would be 100 times easier than anything we can do right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I did see that. The one that doesn't, I mean, I think it's pretty much over now is the whole Lana and Rusev and Bobby Lashley. That never
clicked for me either.
Yeah.
It never clicked for me either. I think because it's been seen. Wasn't Lana like with Dolph Ziggler and...
I remember that. But I think at that point, the reason why that broke up or whatever was because TMZ posted that picture of them getting engaged. Right. And that just threw everything off. And, it is what it is. But, now they have Ziggler with Mandy Rose, right? Is from what I saw on whatever on social media.
I did see. I mean, that's another thing. Social media ruins a lot of wrestling. For me. Because we don't. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't get the East Coast feed. I get the West Coast feed, so it's 3 hours behind.
Yeah.
So by that time, YouTube's already posting it. The channel, the WWE channel, is already posting the clips of what happened on Raw, what happened on SmackDown, what happened on NXT. Let me ask you this though. Right now, there is a war brewing on Wednesdays between NXT and AEW. Woo! And if those are listening right now, if you are not watching AEW, as much as I love WWE, you need to watch AEW.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Oz, I mean, we are not WWE fans. We're wrestling fans. Like, we'll watch both. Like, we're I mean, let me rephrase that. We're fans of both.
Right.
You got WWE, which has been around for a super long time. It became a a humongous powerhouse after they acquired, WCW, and then there was other companies that came along, and they couldn't just hack. They couldn't hack it. There was a time where I think at that point they were called Impact at the time already.
Yeah.
The TNA had already gone
Anthem Impact.
I remember. Anthem only lasted a few months, and then they got rid of it, and then they just became Impact. But they tried, and it didn't work.
Well, what Impact did was they had the same formula that WCW
did. Yeah, and that just killed them because they just brought a bunch of old. I mean, You know, they
let's
were
call
old.
it- They're old school
They're old
wrestlers.
school
They're
Yeah.
legends basically. Let's
Call them legends. They had a lot of legends, and you know, for me as a wrestling fan, don't get me wrong, I'm all for nostalgia, but there's a lot of great talent out there, and I'm not just saying here like in the U.S. Like Japan's got a crap ton of awesome wrestlers over there.
They do.
You know, and you know, luckily for us, we were able to get some of them over to our Western, you know, wrestling organizations, but there's some that don't get used to their full potential, and it sucks. You know, but you know, back to what I was saying, I think for the whole wrestling in general, I think this AEW thing is great. You know, it's something that was much needed because WWE thought that they were the dominant. I mean, they still are at a certain degree as far as wrestling is concerned on the West Side. I mean, you got a lot of indies, and then you still have, you know, I guess Impact is still going on. You know, then you have AEW, which is rising, and I think, in my opinion, is more popular than Impact is. But it just felt like WWE had this like power hold on the wrestling business, and now that AEW came along, it just looks like it's what wrestling needed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is the New Japans, and again, there's the indie scenes and stuff, but not a lot of people know about that type of stuff.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the people that didn't know who the hell AJ Styles was until he popped up into the WWE.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, though. Okay, somebody who hasn't watched wrestling ever, okay, but you want to introduce them to him. What would be a match that you would say you watch this as your introduction to wrestling?
Like, to present it to somebody
who has never seen wrestling, but you want to get them into it, or you want to introduce it to them. What would be like a match that you would say, this is the match that's going to hook you on wrestling? Could be from any year. Could be from 90s, the what I call the Federation years, the Attitude Era.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to the Attitude Era and say Rock and Stone Cold.
Which one?
Any of them.
Any of them.
Any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it didn't even have to be the WWE Championship. The Intercontinental feud that they had was ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, that's the type of stuff. I'm not saying you have to go all out Attitude again, but some of that stuff is good still.
Right.
Like, that whole throwing the Intercontinental Championship into the river. I mean, dude, like, I saw that and I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, and it was the mid-card title. You know what I mean? It wasn't the championship.
What was the championship feud in that? I don't remember. I don't remember that one.
I don't think it was. No, Triple H wasn't in the main event.
No.
Yet. Who the hell was that?
Exactly. I don't remember.
And that's exactly my point. You see, you're asking.
Yeah.
You know, you're asking me like, hey, you know what? Like, who did that? I think any of the Stone Cold and Rock matches were great because, and as it is, you know, that was the Intercontinental Championship feud, and we can't even think of who the hell was champion at the time.
Right.
That's how good those feuds were.
Right. I get it.
You know, so that would probably be what I would do, and then people know who they are.
Right.
So that's just an extra bonus. So that would be me.
So that would be the Rock, Stone Cold.
Any of their series.
Okay. Tell me, give me a dream match that you have.
Ooh.
It's a hard question.
It is.
But that's why I'm here, to ask the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. I mean, it would depend on what organization was handling the match, because I got to see Styles and Nakamura in New Japan, you know, through whatever way I saw it, and it was beautiful. You know, the storytelling in that match, you know, it was good. So you know what? I'll probably have maybe like Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
Didn't they go at it again? Oh, they already went at it.
Did they?
But they were good matches.
I mean, they're just very technical wrestlers.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
What how do you feel? Because this week it broke that they're planning for WrestleMania to have The Undertaker versus AJ Styles.
I don't know. I love The Undertaker, as I mentioned, but I think it would have been more suitable for somebody else to have a match with them, with AJ Styles. I think Undertaker is great and all for the nostalgia purpose, but I don't think it's like if we were to see Goldberg and Undertaker 2. That was such a horrible match. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, and they're trying to get their money on, but
they almost
killed each other. You know, and we're not trying to see them die in the ring. You know, we already had, unfortunately, one tragic death that was cut off, which was Owen Hart, you know, R.I.P., but we're not trying to see that, you know, again.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it would have been more suitable for somebody else to fight AJ Styles at that.
So, on a scale of 1 to 5 excitement, 5 being like super hyped about it, 1 being meh.
For that match?
Yeah.
Honestly,
and I'm only asking because it's a fantasy booking type of thing where you look at it, it's like, I want to see these two guys go at it.
I mean,
now that there's rumors, might not happen, but right now that's the rumor.
It would have been good if The Undertaker was, if it was Prime Undertaker. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or even American Badass Undertaker. You know what I mean? Because that's a little bit past his prime. His prime was mostly like, you know, Paul Bearer days, maybe like Ministry of Darkness days, you know, maybe a little bit more after that. But as far as a 1 to 5, you said?
Right.
I'd give it like, I'm probably like half excited for that 2.5.
Okay. Now,
if it was a real, like if it was going on.
Knowing the fact that you're a huge Undertaker fan, walk me through your emotions on April 3rd, 2014, when Brock Lesnar pinned The Undertaker.
You got to bring that up, bro.
I do. When
I swore off wrestling.
Brock
I cried.
Lesnar pinned The Undertaker 1, 2, 3 to end his 21 undefeated WrestleMania streak.
Yeah, I cried, and I was super upset, and I swore off wrestling, but it only lasted about a week. Yeah. And then I got shit for it.
What about WrestleMania 33, where we assumed The Undertaker had retired after losing to Roman Reigns? Because he left the coat.
He left everything in the ring.
Hat, everything was in the ring.
I think the mystique of The Undertaker is good and all. Like it's just, if he did all of that, it should have been for a reason. I don't think, I mean, money talks, bullshit walks.
Right.
You know, we don't know the behind the scenes deals on that, but I mean, if the money's right, and
do you ever feel that there will be a character that lives up to what The Undertaker did?
There's been at this moment too, there is potential of people that can do that. But
name me a couple.
All right.
Oh, give me 2.
Aleister Black.
Okay.
That's one, which I think they mishandled. With the mystique of The Undertaker, though, let me see. So, there isn't really anybody else that I can see that's anywhere kind of remotely as dark as The Undertaker at the moment. I think right now the only one that I see is probably Aleister Black.
What about Bray Wyatt? Or do you think his time has come and gone because he's been so mishandled before?
Bray Wyatt?
Right.
No, I mean, Bray Wyatt that's actually a really good one that you brought up, and I don't know why the hell it slipped my mind, but I think Bray Wyatt is spot on. Just the way that he's able to reinvent himself over and over and over again, from Husky Harris to, you know, now that he's the Fiend / Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's just the way he can reinvent himself over and over again. It reminds me a bit of The Undertaker, as far as, you know, you had the Ministry Undertaker, you had the Urn Undertaker, you had the American Badass, and you went back to The Undertaker, like with the coat and the hat and stuff. So I think Bray Wyatt and Aleister Black. I think, you know, thank you for bringing up Bray Wyatt, but yeah, you're right. Bray Wyatt, I think, would be a really good, suitable replacement for The Undertaker.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, man, we have to wrap up this conversation.
We do,
but this has been fun because, I mean, I know you, but people don't know you. The
Yeah.
people don't know
Yeah.
you. So, they don't know what the Oz and Glorious One show is going to be
Oh,
about.
of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? But this has been fun. This has been fun. I could talk to you for hours.
Oh, yeah,
Trust
yeah.
me. And we just scratched the surface
Yeah.
of this podcast. We didn't even go through the details about your childhood. We didn't talk about the ex-fiance. We have not brought. And that's
Oh,
right.
no, that's-
We still have a lot to
Yes.
go through. But we do have to wrap this one up because we're running out of time. And trust me, the sponsors are going to kill me.
Yep.
So thank you for being here and talking about that.
No,
I mean,
thank
like,
you.
again, you're gonna come back. I know.
Oh,
you
yeah,
are. We're gonna do this
100%,
again,
you know.
and I want to do the video thing.
Yeah, I think that once we get the video rolling, I think these casts should be a little bit longer.
Right.
But since there's now going to be visual, with the reactions and facial expressions and movements, body language, you'll be able to see all of that. So, like he said, we're just scratching the surface now. Just let us get a little bit more established, and you'll be in for a ride.
Well, thank you for listening. If you've stuck through the whole 31 minutes that is going on right now.
Yep.
Thank you once again. My name is The Oz. You have listened to the OzzCast. The Oz is out.